Hey guys, Julian here, and in this video I'm going to be taking you through a little behind the scenes of a portrait shoot with my model Steph here. And today I'm going to be using the LUMIX S5 by Panasonic. On the LUMIX, I'm going to be pairing it with the brand new 85mm 1.8, and this is the first time using this setup for me. It's actually the first time I'll be using the S5. So throughout the video I'm going to put up some images, both raw and edited, as well as a little bit of sample footage for you guys to check out. So let's get started. Yeah, that's really beautiful. Great. Yeah, beautiful. Hold that for another one. So yeah, just sort of hands out because I really like these sleeves. So what I want to do is capture a little bit of depth using those sleeves to frame your face a little. Yeah, beautiful. Great. Cool. And keeping that hand up, I really like that across your forehead. And can I have this hand out towards the camera? Like, yeah, cool. Beautiful. Hold that for one more for me. Beautiful. I'll give you a quick look so you can see. Oh, I like this. I like a sort of bit of movement. These sleeves are working really beautifully. Cool. Yeah, great. Beautiful. Hold that for another one. Great. Beautiful. Great. Perfect, that's beautiful. Great. Amazing. I'm going to take a few, the grass is moving around a little, so I'm going to keep firing away just to get one nice clean one. There we go, beautiful. Great. Cool. Great. Beautiful. Can you just turn side on for me, just facing that way a little bit? Yeah, that's great. Cool, I think we're done. I think we've got it. Thank you. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that little behind the scenes of my first portrait shoot with the LUMIX S5. I want to say a big thank you to Steph for modeling and for Tommy for filming the behind the scenes. I'm going to link both those guys in the description below so that you can go and show some love. Now, onto a few of my first impressions of the LUMIX S5. I wanted to start by talking about the size and weight of the camera. For a full frame 24.2 megapixel camera, the size and weight is actually really impressive. I'm generally drawn to a bigger body camera, having slightly bigger hands, but I found it really comfortable to use, and ergonomically, the size for a portrait shoot on location, or even if you're a travel photographer, the size is really ideal. Moving on from the size of the camera, I wanted to talk about something that's probably on the forefront of many people's minds when they are looking to purchase a new camera body or new camera system, and that is the autofocus. Both the speed and the sharpness of the autofocus. Now, for this particular shoot, I used two of the autofocus modes on the S5. I used both the face tracking and the pinpoint autofocus. Now, the face tracking I found really quite fast and responsive. even when the light was getting lower. And as I was shooting a lot of these images backlit, which is where a lot of camera systems struggle, I found the face tracking really responsive, and it generally nailed focus every time. I was shooting at f1.8, f2, and I was a little bit concerned using the face tracking that it wasn't going to nail the correct point on the face, the front eye, but it actually did really, really well. In terms of the pinpoint autofocus, I chose this mode because in general, I don't use a face tracking or eye tracking mode. I like to select my focal point. I like a single point autofocus. So the pinpoint autofocus did just that. You would have seen on some of the footage that when using the pinpoint autofocus, it actually magnifies the area that you've selected focus in so that you can really dial in and nail that focus, and it is amazingly sharp. The thing I did find with the pinpoint autofocus, as it does magnify that area, that takes a split second, it then focuses, it then shoots, which when shooting portraits or fashion and you've got a moving subject, I found just that little bit too slow. And probably even more so through the viewfinder, having to use the joystick to track that focal point a little bit slower and more clumsy again. Having said all that, it's now been a few days since I filmed this portrait shoot, and aside from finally getting a haircut after months in lockdown, I have played with a few of the other autofocus features on the S5, and I realized I was probably in the wrong mode. There is a mode called One Area Autofocus, and that is more similar to the single point autofocus on other camera systems. Again, you can choose your focal point, but it's just a single box, it doesn't magnify, and it is much faster. That box also can be adjusted in terms of the size, so you can make it bigger or smaller, whether you want to select a whole face or dial right into an eye, which is really great. And I also sped up the joystick, which made shooting through the viewfinder much faster again. So I'm really looking forward to getting out again with it and trialing that autofocus mode on another portrait or fashion shoot. Some of the other features I really liked about the camera, it does have dual SD card slots. I tried the silent mode. Now I am one for a really loud, clunky shutter. I love it, particularly when I'm shooting people, because I like my models to be able to move on cue to the sound of the shutter. But for those of you shooting weddings or shooting events where you need to go under the radar, you want to keep it nice and quiet, not be seen or heard, the silent mode is dead silent. As an overall package, in terms of the price point, size, image quality, and even the video quality, which you would have seen there, it's a really solid unit, and I personally can't wait to try it out on some of the other genres of photography that I shoot, being landscapes or even food photography. If you have had any experience with the LUMIX S5 or you've been using it for a little while now, I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know what you thought of the imagery and video. If you enjoyed it, help me out with a like, a subscribe, and as always, thank you for pressing play.